video edited today.
Good afternoon. It's Monday.
I put sunscreen on Saturday.
I was going to take the snow shovel off the deck, and I didn't.
So you jinxed it, and Dennis, our floor manager, jinxed it. He got his motorcycle out and put his snowblower away.
And his snow tire's taken off.
Yes.
We'll get to the weather in just a minute.
Yes, we will.
We've heard a lot about the artificial intelligence lately. Well, now, one of Dane County's largest employers is teaming up with Microsoft to bring AI to healthcare.
Thousands across the country say they've had enough and want change to address gun violence. I'm Skyler Henry in Washington with their messages to lawmakers.
And a week after announcing Tammy Baldwin's re-election bid, our Will Keneally breaks down her most recent fundraising numbers.
Let's take a look outside. We got some deer, we got some turkey. This is the Arboretum.
They're confused. They're wondering what is going on, like we all are.
Yeah, see the turkey on the left of the screen.
Wow, that's
there?
a great shot. You could think you were at the zoo.
Here we go. Lots going on in the Arboretum, apparently. The weather words, Operation Snow Melt, what is it?
Begins.
Snow Melt begins, all right.
Exactly. So, yeah, unfortunately, we had the snow, we had the cold that we kind of expected, a lot more snow, especially as you go further north. The good thing, we didn't have the winds materialize as strong as we thought, still 15 to 20 miles per hour, but they didn't materialize the gusts that we had. Those will continue to die down overnight. Skies are beginning to clear out to the west. That's a sign that we always see clear skies as we go through the night. Otherwise, we still got some light snow up to the north, but that band is really thinned out and pushed well east. A few flakes here and there, but otherwise everything is kind of wrapping up as we zoom in here. Not much to speak of. There's your temperatures, more like early March. This is kind of our high temperature for early March. Actually, it's almost our average low for right now, too. So definitely cold out there. Snow-wise, we got some down here, but if you go up to the north, La Crosse to Camp Douglas to the Black River, there's an area that 20-plus inches, potentially more than 2 feet up there. So heavy, wet snow, a lot of power outages, tree damage up in that area. The good news is out to the west, we do have warming conditions. That is a sign that we are going to start warming up. It won't begin today or tonight. We'll average out about into the low 30s later tonight. The winds will begin to die down, and by the time you wake up, we should be back below freezing with lighter winds, but plenty of sunshine then to come for at least tomorrow. Unfortunately, the dry pattern does not last long. We got the wet weather returning. We have a brief warm up, and then we're going to be watching all those rivers because all this snow has to go back into that basin. So all that's coming up a bit later in the broadcast.
Especially up north, and it goes downstream.
Exactly.
Greg, thank you. We'll see you in a few minutes. Epic System is one of the largest employers in our area and a key company in the medical software industry. It's stepping into the artificial intelligence space.
Our Catherine Merck joins us to explain the advanced technology and what it will mean for Epic users. Catherine?
Epic Systems has announced a collaboration with Microsoft to bring artificial intelligence to its healthcare services. While I spoke with the company today, Epic said it'll add generative AI technology to respond to patient messages that providers can then edit and send. Epic says it'll help providers manage an increase in patient messages after telehealth options increased during the pandemic.
Should be able to speed up the amount of time that it takes for a clinician to respond to a patient. And it also will help patients to be able to answer questions more autonomously that they could look at through generative AI.
Some physicians at several healthcare organizations across the country have already begun using this technology, including UW Health. You'll hear from the local hospital system about their role in advancing AI in healthcare later tonight at 6 o'clock.
We'll see you at 6, Catherine. Thank you. And we're learning more tonight about the victims of this weekend's shooting at a Sweet 16 birthday party in Dadeville, Alabama. Police say 4 people were killed and 28 others were hurt, mostly teenagers. The victims are 23-year-old Corbin Holston, 19-year-old Marcia Collins, 18-year-old Philstavius Dowdell, and 17-year-old Kiki Smith. Dozens of other young people were hurt and taken to the hospital. So far, police have made no arrests.
And in Kansas City, 16-year-old Ralph Yarl is fighting for his life after being shot for knocking on the wrong door. Yarl says he was trying to pick up his younger brothers when he mistook one address for another, and that's when police say a man opened fire, shooting him in the head. The homeowner who shot the teen was taken into custody on a 24-hour hold and was released. Police cited the need for further investigation and for a formal statement from the victim as some of the reasons. Well, there have been, listen to this, 162 mass shootings in the United States so far this year. That's according to the Gun Violence Archive.
Thousands of Americans fed up with feeling unsafe took to the streets in 2 major U.S. cities today, demanding that politicians do more.
Skylar Henry is at one of the protests in Washington, D.C.
Assault weapons have to go!
Protesters marched through the National Mall carrying photos of loved ones lost to gun violence and calling on Congress to ban assault weapons.
I'm terrified every single day, every single moment, because it's not if it will happen again, it's when.
Lindsay Hartman was at the 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois last year when a gunman killed 7 people and wounded 48 others. She says she shielded her 4-year-old from the bullets.
There's no reason for weapons of war to exist in the way that they do with no regulation.
In Nashville, protesters carried caskets through the streets. Just 3 weeks ago, 6 people died there in a mass shooting at a private Christian school, including 3 children. A new CBS News poll finds 62% of Americans want to ban the AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. But the poll also found stark differences along ideological lines. 81% of liberals think the U.S. would be safer if fewer or no people own guns. 40% of conservatives think the U.S. would be safer if more people or everyone had guns. Gun violence remains a top concern for most Americans, according to the CBS News poll, including 77% of parents and 60% of students. But at this weekend's annual NRA convention, several Republican presidential candidates indicated there's no appetite for gun control legislation within the GOP.
The issue is not too many guns. The issue is too many thugs, hoodlums, and savage criminals on our street. We don't need gun control. We need crime control.
A study from the Kaiser Family Foundation found roughly 1 in 5 Americans have had a shooting death in their family. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Well, thousands of fans lined the route of the Boston Marathon today. It was an emotional start to the 127th Boston Marathon, 10 years after the fatal bombing that shook the city like never before. Over the weekend, families attended remembrance ceremonies and wreaths were laid at the sites where 2 pressure cooker bombs went off. Heather Abbott lost her leg below the knee in the attack, and now her foundation helps others get access to prosthetic devices.
I've made an effort to not focus on what I can't change. And what I can't change is what happened the day of the Boston Marathon bombing. So I try to look forward and think about how I can change the future and how I can make it better.
But today, the focus is on the racers. 2 Kenyans led the way. Evan Chebet won the men's division for the 2nd year in a row, and Helen Obiri pulled away from the pack very late in the race to win her only 2nd marathon. Runners show they are Boston strong 10 years later, crossing the finish line in the same location and in the rain on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. An emotional day. Well, Madison police are investigating after 2 people were found dead inside a home on the city's east side. Officers were called to the 2800 block of Mullen Street off Aberg Avenue near Eakin Park around 3:30 Sunday afternoon. They arrived to find a 71-year-old woman dead in the living room. A 68-year-old man was found dead in the basement. There were no signs of forced entry. The man and woman were married. Their names and causes of death will be released by the Dane County Medical Examiner's Office. Well, after big Democratic wins this past month, another major Democrat, or this month it is, another major Democrat has already jumped in for the race for next year.
Senator Tammy Baldwin announced her re-election bid, and with new fundraising numbers, we're seeing just how that race might shape up. Political reporter Will Keneally joins us live from the Capitol.
So, Mark and Susan, Senator Tammy Baldwin has raised a very healthy $2.1 million so far this quarter. Now, if we compare that to 2 years ago, the state's senior senator, Ron Johnson, raised more than $500,000 while he was still mulling a run. And UW La Crosse political scientist Anthony Tregoski says that's part of what makes Baldwin a good candidate to run next year, considering that she may be sharing the ticket with a possibly unpopular President Biden.
The potential upside is that she has created her own personal brand. She has created a distinct reputation that can potentially help her do better than some other Democrats on the ticket. And I think that's why a lot of Republicans seem to be a bit reluctant to get into this campaign.
Having Baldwin in the race likely bodes well for Democrats. They have a razor-thin margin in the U.S. Senate and more seats to lose. They need top-tier candidates to retain those competitive seats. Now, the big question, who on the Republican side is lining up to run against Baldwin? We'll have more on that answer tonight at 5. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Well, thank you. We'll see you at 5. A study of Dane County sports facilities found that Madison has the amenities to host more large sports events, but lacks the facilities. The study compared Dane County's facilities to other markets, including Milwaukee, Appleton, and Rockford. Madison has the needed infrastructure, such as hotels and restaurants, and is in a strong position geographically to host larger sports events. The study found, however, Madison's athletic complexes don't have enough fields or courts. School facilities have limited access for public usage, and indoor sports facilities are few and far between.
7,000 students in the Madison School District will again be getting free bus passes to get around this summer. The district announced it will be giving the summer passes to all middle and high school students through an agreement between Madison Metro and the school district. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway called it an investment in the environment by encouraging young people to navigate the city by bus and bike.
It's an investment in our young people, preparing them today with vital community readiness skills and giving them access to opportunity and to independence.
Last summer, MMSD students took over 40,000 bus rides.
Well, SpaceX has scrubbed its first launch of the most powerful rocket ever built due to a technical issue. The company says Starship, with the super heavy rocket booster, isn't quite ready to live up to its name. Starship is massive with 33 engines. SpaceX says a pressurized issue forced it to call off today's inaugural flight after years of testing and conduct this rehearsal launch instead. SpaceX says it could try to launch again in 2 days from South Texas over the Gulf of Mexico. 33 engines, wow. Well, more and more people are having breakfast for dinner.
And we have some great recipes from the Wisconsin Beef Council for you to try. Angie Horkin joins us when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
How's John?
Oh, much better.
That was quite a scare.
Got us thinking about a lot of things, like life insurance. If something happened to either one of us, we'd really be in trouble. But where can we get coverage with John's health problems on a fixed income?
Go with the sure thing, Colonial Penn.
Friends have been telling friends about Colonial Penn Guaranteed Acceptance Whole Life Insurance for more than 50 years, and with good reason. If you're between the ages of 50 and 85, it's a sure thing. Your acceptance is guaranteed because full benefits are not paid in the first 2 years. You don't need a physical exam, and we won't ask about your health. You cannot be turned down. And the price? Options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day.
I don't know. What if the price goes up as we get older?
With Colonial Penn, your rate is another sure thing. It will never increase. That's because it comes with something you won't find in other policies, a lifetime rate lock. The rate you start with is the one you keep. Guaranteed. And you should know this coverage can last a lifetime. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age. Not this one. As long as you pay your premiums, it's yours for life. Call the number on your screen now, and we'll send you free information by mail. You have nothing to lose, because at Colonial Penn, your satisfaction is another sure thing. Every policy we issue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you've been thinking about getting life insurance to help your family with funeral expenses and other bills you may leave behind, call for free information today. There's no obligation, and you'll receive a free beneficiary planner just for calling.
Same time next week?
Sure thing.
Call 1-800-248-6940 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-248-6940. There's no obligation. 1-800-248-6940. Call now.
Stanley Steamer is equipped and ready to get your home cleaner and healthier. Our cleaning solution is an EPA safer choice. And with our Made in the USA cleaning equipment, we take the dirt out of your home and leave your carpet cleaner and smelling fresher. No one cleans carpet and upholstery like Stanley Steamer. Schedule your seasonal deep cleaning today.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Well, get ready for some changes to your favorite burgers at McDonald's.
Yeah, the restaurant chain says it's upgrading its signature burgers. The changes include softer buns, gooier cheese, and onions added right from the grill. And Big Macs will be served with more sauce. The upgrades will also be made for the McDouble burger, the classic cheeseburger, the double cheeseburger, and the hamburger. McDonald's says the new menu will be available across the country by early next year.
The White House is ramping up efforts to expand access to electric vehicles in the U.S. It announced new partnerships with Zipcar and Uber. Round 2 of the Biden administration's EV Acceleration Challenge. Zipcar is pledging to allocate 25% of its electric vehicles to disadvantaged communities this year. Uber has committed to reach 400 million miles driven by electric vehicles on its platform by the end of this year. The administration says it's aiming to have 50% of all new car sales be electric by the year 2030.
Well, on the other end of the spectrum, gas prices are on the rise, and experts say they're about to get even worse. AAA reports the national average for a gallon of regular is now $3.67. It says that price has been on the rise for weeks, with Gas Buddy noting increases in 45 states. Experts from both organizations point to oil prices that topped $80 a barrel after OPEC Plus announced production cuts. Those started in May and are on top of the ones unveiled in October. AAA notes increasing demand could be a factor, although higher prices might be subduing that. Well, if you're engaged or hoping for a traditional wedding, you might want to secure your dress and tux ASAP.
One of the largest bridal retailers in the U.S. has filed for bankruptcy. Today, David's Bridal filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Last week, the company announced it was laying off 9,000 of its roughly 10,000 employees. The company blames changing tastes in weddings, where casual ceremonies are becoming more popular, and some women are opting for thrift dresses.
Stocks ended higher as a huge earnings week gets underway. The Dow Industrials added 100 points, closing at 33,987. The NASDAQ up 34 points. The S&P 500 gained 13. Well, eating a protein-rich breakfast keeps you feeling full longer, which may result in less snacking throughout the day. Right, Angie?
Yeah. Hi, Angie. Hello. Something that's fun to do with your kids every once in a while, my son used to love to do this, is to eat breakfast for dinner. And Angie from the Wisconsin Beef Council has some great recipes to do just that.
Yeah,
this is more the scrambled eggs and bacon.
This is definitely. These are kind of full-blown breakfast recipes, but they'd also be really nice too for a brunch if you have one of those coming up, or maybe even Mother's Day, where it's not that far away. But yeah, I got a beef breakfast pizza ole, and then kind of a make-ahead beef strata. So starting with the pizza, I took a pound of lean ground beef, and I added in some seasoning. Look how pretty that is. Yeah, it looks really nice. I just added in some seasoning into the ground beef to make it taste like a breakfast sausage. So sage, onion powder, garlic powder, a little crushed red pepper, a little salt, refrigerated pizza crust as the bottom. Just kind of put that on your sheet, bake it 8 minutes, and then while you're doing that, brown up your ground beef, and then into the ground beef I added some salsa. It called for salsa verde, so I added that, but you could probably use any kind of salsa you have at home, and then some fresh tomatoes, and then some shredded Mexican cheese blend. Then you kind of make little wells in your beef mixture and crack in 6 eggs.
We got a double yolker here.
Got a double yolker. I think that's good.
Make a wish.
Yeah. And then put it back in the oven, bake it for like 15 to 18 minutes till the whites are set. So yeah, I think I baked it about 16, 17 minutes.
It's fancier than it looks.
Yeah, and then you can top with some green onion, if
Very
you
good.
like. Serve with some
So
more
then everybody gets a
salsa.
chunk with an egg on it.
Yeah, everybody gets
All
a
right.
chunk with an egg on it, and 6 servings. So then for protein, 31 grams of protein
Ooh,
per serving.
That's good.
That's quite a bit. Spicy beef chorizo beef strata. So I took ground beef and added seasoning to make it taste like a spicy chorizo. So some chili powder, some smoked paprika, a little salt, a little dried oregano, a little red wine vinegar, a lot of pantry staples. Mix that into your ground beef, make it taste like a Mexican sausage. And then after you brown it, I put in with the ground beef some fresh spinach, let it wilt, and then some red
scoop up
peppers. And then I took a loaf of French bread and kind of chunked it up to make about 8 cups of bread cubes, and then 6 eggs, a little salt and pepper with that mixture, and then bake this in the oven about 40 minutes, covered with foil. Take your foil off, and then bake another 10, 15 minutes.
Smells great.
It looks great.
You can make it all ahead, keep it in the fridge, and then bring it out the next morning if you want to do it for breakfast or a brunch. Just pop it in the oven, and then it's ready to go.
Is it more economical to use ground beef and season it to taste like chorizo rather than just using chorizo?
Possibly if you buy like a ground chuck or just a ground beef, yeah, because you're paying what's ground beef right now? $3.69, $4 a pound-ish, depending on where you go.
That's pretty good.
You're the beef lady. You should know. Breakfast for dinner. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Beeftips.com.
You got a lot of these recipes.
Beeftips.com. We got a lot of breakfast recipes, brunch recipes, which are kind of fun with a lot of different beef cuts, but also ground beef. Yeah, so click on As Seen on TV this month, and we've got links all there.
You're ready to be great for Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Make this up for Mom.
Yeah, because you can do it all ahead of time. Which is
Even
great.
now during this great spring
Yes.
weather, we're having a nice, warm, comforting meal.
Dust off the grill if you can find it.
I have 8 inches of snow.
You're up in Leesburg.
On my grill.
You got a lot of snow
I got
up
a lot
there.
of snow.
Wow.
Thanks for making the trek
Yes,
down here.
of course.
Thanks, Ange.
Thanks, Ange.
Well, here's another thing to worry about. Global warming is responsible for a rise in flesh-eating bacteria.
Oh my goodness, we're full of good news, especially in warm, shallow coastal waters.
Ew.
We'll find out what's happening coming up after Greg's First Warn forecast.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Could you keep it down? Oh, hey, sorry. I can't stop these kids from rocking, but I can help you replace all this. Rock on! With free installation on Felco windows, siding, doors, and roofing, plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. There's never been a better time to upgrade your home. This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Well, take a look at this. David Oppenheimer was chilling on his Asheville porch when a curious bear wandered up, and in a humorous caught-on-camera moment, the pair appeared to startle each other, prompting the uninvited guests to scamper off. Oppenheimer says the lounge chair bear scare was just the latest visit by the bear, who peacefully wanders around the neighborhood. I don't know
if you'll be able to hold yourself there.
How long did this standoff last? There we go. There we go.
It wasn't long. I wonder what he was reading.
Good thing he wasn't sleeping.
Oh, he grabs the pillow. And that's how I can protect you from the bear.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that.
That's great.
Not as scary as the snow, but scary nonetheless.
No, probably the bears went back in hibernation when we saw the snow.
Yeah, go back in.
Yeah, so we were fortunate. We didn't get the most up to the north. They got pounded.
20 inches?
20 plus inches. Wow. A lot of tree damage.
So this was not bad at all.
No, for a couple inches we didn't do too bad. But unfortunately, the dry weather doesn't stick around. We have one more dry day tomorrow, but then wet weather does come back. I'll break all that down a bit later in the forecast.
For back pain, I've always been a take 2 and call in the morning guy. But my new doctor recommended Salonpas. Without another pill upsetting my stomach, I get powerful, effective, and safe relief. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Family is just very important. She's my sister, and we depend on each other a lot.
She's the rock of the family. She's the person who holds everything together.
It's a battle, I'm gonna be there.
Keytruda and chemotherapy meant treating my cancer with 2 different types of medicine.
In a clinical trial, Keytruda and chemotherapy was proven to help people live longer than chemotherapy alone. Keytruda is used to treat more patients with advanced lung cancer than any other immunotherapy. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment. If you have advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems. If you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant, receive chest radiation, or have a nervous system problem.
It feels good to be here for them.
Living longer is possible. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. Ask your doctor about Keytruda.
Habitat Restore is full of great finds at great prices for a great cause. With a unique inventory of high-quality, low-cost goods, you can save money and feel good about your purchase. Shop Restore Dane County today.
Made with American biofuels, E15 saves drivers money, reduces emissions, and creates jobs in rural communities. Last year, when gas prices were spiking, President Biden extended summer sales of E15 and saved drivers nearly $1 per gallon in some areas. We can't afford higher gas prices this summer. We need the Biden administration to act again. Tell Senator Baldwin that President Biden must protect access to E15 and extend savings at the pump.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, despite the cold and the snow, we do have severe weather awareness week. This week extends all the way through Friday. And involved with that is a tornado drill. Typically that comes up Thursday at 2 times. Remember, 1:45, 6:45. This is what will happen. The NOAA weather radios, if you have them, that will sound sirens will sound, but you won't get those emergency alerts on your phone for this or push notifications. Once again, it's a good time to practice your safety things for tornadoes and where to shelter. Once again, that is severe weather week for actually Minnesota and Wisconsin. This gives you an idea. We have a lot of snow, a lot of rain that occurred. We are going to see some potential issues with the rivers. We already saw some issues, but this gives you an outlook that we're likely to see a lot more river issues just because of the amount of rainfall and snowfall. Plus, we have another system coming this week, too. If you look at gauges right now, the Mississippi already is at minor stages, minor to even moderate flooding. Up to the Wisconsin Dells, the Portage area there has moderate flooding. That's what we're looking at right now currently. But in the future, right now, we have warnings out for pretty much down to Dubuque, to La Crosse. That's both for moderate flooding in the Mississippi, and we still got moderate flooding up here. Potentially could be major flooding up in Portage, too. That gauge is going to be fairly close. This is just the start. This doesn't take into account all the water that's going to be coming yet. What we're looking for, the active weather, Wednesday, Thursday, more showers coming, thunderstorms potentially. We might have a brief return to the 60s. Once again, maybe up to another inch of rain with this. Unfortunately, we get back to colder conditions for the weekend. 40s likely by Saturday once again. And dare I say, we might see a few snowflakes Saturday night, too, with the cold air wrapping once again around this. So something to keep in mind of. For tonight, we're going to see clearing skies. We might see a little bit of fog develop. You'll see that towards the morning develop, especially towards the western areas where they are seeing more sun and drier conditions and clearing overnight. We'll wake up tomorrow in the low upper 20s, and then tomorrow afternoon, more sun, but not getting much of a boost in temperatures, only getting back into the low to mid 50s. We should be around 60. And then we got a warm front coming late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. You'll see that come in the picture. That's a round of showers, maybe thunderstorms Wednesday morning as that warm front lifts north through the morning hours. The good sign is behind that. That means we'll get back up into the upper 50s and probably even 60 in some areas. Coming Wednesday, we do have some severe threat, but right now the highest risk, the slight risk is staying to the south. We'll see if that changes, but for the most time we'll see some thunderstorms, but we don't expect any severe weather with that next system. As you look at the 10-day, once we get past the cold edges, we get back into the 60s. Unfortunately, that does not last too long. We come back down into the 40s for the weekend with that rain. And yes, we could see some snow again on the backside of that system come Saturday and Sunday morning, and then modification. And then we get back into the 60s for the following week. So it's still active. There's no 70s there. There's definitely no 80s coming anytime soon. And I don't want to say it, but yeah, you could see some snow Saturday night too.
Saturday's the new Thursday.
Yes. Well, exactly. Unfortunately, and yes. So it's going to be a dry, sunny day for your good taxes tomorrow.
It doesn't last long.
No.
Unless you have 20 inches.
Well, that's the one problem we're going to be dealing with a lot.
Wow. Wow. Yes. All right. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
If you plan on traveling internationally this summer and need a passport, you better move quickly.
The State Department is processing a record number of passports, up to 500,000 each week, which is about 30% more than this time last year. It will take anywhere from 10 to 13 weeks for standard processing, which used to take about 6 to 9 weeks. If you pay $60 to expedite your passport, the State Department says it will still take about 7 to 9 weeks, twice the time it used to take.
That doesn't include the time it takes to mail it to the agency and then receive it back.
So what happens if your passport doesn't arrive in time? If you have proof of your international travel, within the next 14 days, you can get an emergency passport. But that's not an easy process either. If you already have your passport, you want to check the expiration date. Some countries will not let you fly there if the passport is set to expire soon, anywhere from 1 to 6 months from the date of travel.
Not much time left. Well, scientists are warning about the rise of potentially fatal bacteria infections due to global warming.
The so-called flesh-eating bacteria can grow in warm, shallow coastal waters.
Kristen Benavides says one man's story who survived an infection.
You're right. Kenny Watts doesn't take for granted being here to share his story.
I still get emotional.
In August 2017, he was cooking a crab when a pinch broke the skin on his hand. Within a day or so, he knew something was wrong and called his then-girlfriend, Trisha.
Got this big blister on my hand, and by the time she got here, I was lethargic.
His organs were that quickly starting to shut down, and the infection was already spreading through his body.
It was a Vibrio vulnificus bacteria, which thrives in shallow, warm coastal waters and can infect a cut on the skin. The infection can require limb amputations, and about 1 in 5 people die, sometimes within a day or two.
I can count on my fingertips
bacteria that have the high virulence that Vibrio vulnificus possesses.
Dr. Waduta Isiobu with Florida Atlantic University has studied V. vulnificus. While infections are rare, a recent UK study shows climate change threatens to increase those numbers along the U.S. East Coast and push cases further north.
It's one of many problems projected to happen because of climate change. But awareness helps people to become more prepared. So you don't go swimming if you have a wound.
Researchers say V. vulnificus is rarely detected in water colder than 55 degrees. Most infections occur in the U.S. in the warmer months, between May and October.
I was told I had 5% chance of living.
Kenny made it, but needed several surgeries.
I guess I'm one of the lucky ones because I didn't lose anything, maybe some mobility, but I didn't lose a limb or anything like that.
He was able to regain function of his hand and arm with therapy. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
It's also possible to get the infection by eating raw or undercooked seafood from warm, brackish waters where this bacteria grows.
But if you thoroughly cook the food, that should kill the bacteria.
Don't go in the water with a cut.
No, it's good advice.
Grief. Coming up next year on Live at 4, in Ukraine, we see the difficulty of making the decision to stay behind in your home country.
And then coming up next hour at 5, a beloved state archaeologist has passed away in a diving accident. We'll tell you the details tonight at 5.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
Find your inspiration with Wisconsin Vision. About our $99 prescription sunglasses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Get your outdoor projects done right with Menards. With the best selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber and the inventory to back it up. Now is the time to get that outdoor project you've been meaning to get to done. Best yet, we've made it convenient for you to get in, out, and back to building. Right now at Menards, an 8-foot pressure-treated 2x4 is only $498 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Can you stay at home and shop for a vehicle in your pajamas? Yes, Bergstrom Automotive offers express purchase so you can complete all parts of your vehicle purchase online. Or you can come in and see us, even in your pajamas. And the cookies are always fresh. So you just bought a vehicle from us. Will we give you a week to drive it and return it if you don't love it? Yes. Love it or return it? Yes, it's that easy. You've been told no before? Join the Bergstrom Automotive family for the yes. Bergstrom for the yes.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
New at 5, seeking another term, we look at who can challenge Senator Tammy Baldwin for her seat, what Republicans need to do in order to win.
Now that the snow has ended, the April sun will start the melting process. As temperatures warm up over the next couple of days, showers and thunderstorms are likely Wednesday and Thursday. Colder weather returns for the weekend. I'll have my first warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, Epic partners with Microsoft to aid with staffing shortages, how implementing new technology could simplify the workflow in healthcare. That's tonight at 6.
Giving the weather satellite a spin, we end up at the Boston Marathon finish line. People are still coming in. This race started at 8 o'clock this morning.
Good for you.
See, way in the back, that wouldn't even be me.
Keep going. Yeah, this is a live picture. It's cloudy and chilly in Boston, 49 degrees today.
Still running. Good for them.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them all.
What an accomplishment.
In eastern Ukraine, authorities urge residents to leave a frontline town for their own safety.
Some agree to leave, but others refuse. Ben Wiedemann reports.
Another family is moving out, leaving the frontline town of Krasnohorivka with the help of the police. Perhaps to lessen the blow to his children, Yevgeny quips, "We'll be back. It's just a vacation." 84-year-old Raya doesn't sugarcoat it. It's like torture, she says, but don't worry, we'll survive. Raya has lived in Krasnohorivka all her life. Rustam and his colleagues venture out to these frontline villages several times a week, trying to convince people to move to safer ground. It's dangerous work, but for Rustam, it's worth the risk to get these children out of harm's way. Looking into those eyes, he asks, what else can you do? If friendly persuasion doesn't work, there are other means. There's an order from local government requiring that children be evacuated from areas close to the fighting. This is how Vasily goes about the job of friendly persuasion, sitting, talking, trying to convince those who remain that their lives are in peril. The people in this basement-turned bomb shelter have been down here for more than a year, and clearly that has taken a toll. Their homes are here. Everything they know is here. They refuse to leave. The eastern end of Krasnohorivka is the hardest hit. Yet even here, there's a stubborn holdout. They've come to this building to try to convince an old man to leave. They've already evacuated his wife. As you can see, this area has been seriously smashed by incoming rounds. The Russians are just 5 kilometers, around 3 miles from here. He didn't want his face to appear on camera. I'm not going anywhere, he says. I was born here and I'm going to die here. The chances of that happening here are perilously high. Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Krasnohorivka, Eastern Ukraine.
Tough decisions. All right, no change at the top of the weekend box office, but there are a couple of new contenders.
Will Loper runs down the new offerings on screens big and small when Live at 4 continues.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
We so amazing.
The stylish Chevy Equinox RS. And Chevy Blazer RS.
So captivating.
You don't have to be an influencer to be an influencer.
The crowd go crazy.
The RS family of Chevy SUVs. Definitely worth a follow. Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance.
Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
How's John?
Oh, much better.
That was quite a scare.
Got us thinking about a lot of things, like life insurance. If something happened to either one of us, we'd really be in trouble. But where can we get coverage with John's health problems on a fixed income?
Go with the sure thing. Colonial Penn.
Friends have been telling friends about Colonial Penn Guaranteed Acceptance Whole Life Insurance for more than 50 years, and with good reason. If you're between the ages of 50 and 85, it's a sure thing. Your acceptance is guaranteed because full benefits are not paid in the first 2 years. You don't need a physical exam, and we won't ask about your health. You cannot be turned down. And the price? Options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day.
I don't know. What if the price goes up as we get older?
With Colonial Penn, your rate is another sure thing. It will never increase. That's because it comes with something you won't find in other policies, a lifetime rate lock. The rate you start with is the one you keep, guaranteed. And you should know this coverage can last a lifetime. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age, not this one. As long as you pay your premiums, it's yours for life. Call the number on your screen now, and we'll send you free information by mail. You have nothing to lose, because at Colonial Penn, your satisfaction is another sure thing. Every policy we issue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you've been thinking about getting life insurance to help your family with funeral expenses and other bills you may leave behind, call for free information today. There's no obligation, and you'll receive a free beneficiary planner just for calling.
Same time next week? Sure thing.
Call 1-800-248-6940 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-248-6940. There's no obligation. 1-800-248-6940. Call now.
Overall, so far we didn't have any incidents, a couple disabled vehicles, but otherwise traffic's looking good across the Beltway. You look down to Mount Horeb, there's no issues to speak of with traffic incidents that way. Up to the north, no issues along the interstate up to the Dells area. And down towards Janesville, we're all looking good too with that. Regarding road conditions, otherwise everything has turned green. No issues to speak of. Even where they got 22 some inches of snow, everything looks good, you guys.
Yeah, the roads are warm.
Yes.
All right, Greg, thank you. A Hungarian circus artist crossed the river Danube on a tightrope in Budapest over the weekend. Wow, members of the Capital Circus have been preparing for months for this historic event. A first time a person has crossed the river on a tightrope. The artist walked 918 feet at a height of 98 feet on a 0.03-inch thick tightrope. The rope stretched between cranes on both sides of the Danube was also held by a team of 20 people on 3 barges on the river, preventing the wire from swaying too much. After achieving the feat, the artist hugged his family and looked visibly relieved.
It looked pretty windy up there, too.
No thanks.
That's incredible.
Well, last night the curtain fell on the longest-running show in Broadway history, Phantom of the Opera, after more than 35 years.
In February, producers announced the show would close due to a sharp drop in ticket sales, even after New York theaters reopened following the pandemic lockdown. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom is based on the classic novel by Gaston Leroux and was originally directed by Harold Prince. Many celebrities were in attendance, including Chuck Schumer, Gayle King, and Glenn Close.
I love Andrew Lloyd Webber. I did Sunset Boulevard with him. I've known him for more than 22 years. He's a genius, and I think this is a big, kind of triumphant and tragic night. You know, everybody can't believe that it's actually closing, so I think it's going to be very emotional.
Phantom is a staple within the Broadway world with more than 70 major theater wins and almost 14,000 performances since its debut in January of 1988. The show has been seen by more than 20 million people. It's grossed over $1 billion over the course of 35 years.
And cast and crew from years past all were on stage last night.
I love that show. I love the music.
It's good.
Yeah.
He'll be back to Overture, I'm sure. Well, the Super Mario Brothers continue their reign at the top of the box office.
But there are a couple of new movies you might want to check out. Here's film critic Will Loper and the Loper Report.
Hey, Susan and Mark. The Super Mario Brothers had nothing to worry about this past weekend at the box office, as they easily flower-powered their way to #1 once again. Coming in at #4 was one of its challengers, the dark comedy Renfield.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you okay? I need to get out of a toxic relationship.
Nicholas Hoult stars as Dracula's familiar Renfield, who helps the ancient vampire by bringing him victims, a.k.a. dinner.
Renfield. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
And I just want a normal life again.
Dracula himself is played by Nicolas Cage, in a role that Cage seemed born to play, as he chews on each line as if it were a 5-course meal.
Your sole purpose in life is to serve me. Now, Let's eat.
The movie knows it's silly and doesn't take itself too seriously as we watch Renfield grow a backbone and try to escape the clutches of Dracula.
But you're never really going to be free until you face him.
I will no longer tolerate abuse. I deserve happiness.
If you've seen the trailer, you've seen most of what Renfield has to offer. Besides the cartoonish hyperviolence and Nicolas Cage's insane performance, there's not a whole lot to this movie. It's an okay way to spend 90 minutes, but it won't stick with you for long after the credits roll. Also new in theaters and coming in at number 8 is the comedy Mafia Mama.
I have terrible news. Your grandfather is dead. I don't even know him.
Toni Collette plays a woman who inherits her grandfather's mafia empire.
The Colosseum.
Oh, what? Where is it? Can we go back?
We have to go to the funeral.
She travels to Italy and finds herself in over her head.
I've got a lot going on at home. My son just went to college, and my husband just cheated on me.
You want me to take care of him?
No! No. No, no, no.
What follows is a mostly predictable fish-out-of-water movie with all the Godfather cliches you'd expect.
Oh, right, yeah. I never saw The Godfather. Okay, look, it's really hard to find 3.5 hours.
A few funny moments and one interesting twist isn't enough to save the mostly unfunny execution of the premise, with even the usually excellent Toni Collette straining too hard to play a truly clueless character. Catch Mafia Mama on cable for free or skip entirely.
I made muffins.
Over on streaming services, new on HBO Max is the premiere of the 4th and final season of Barry.
I am a good person. That is who I am. Barry, you're irredeemable.
Bill Hader returns as the hitman who just wanted to be an actor, trying to untangle the mess he got himself in. And in celebration of Earth Day, new on Amazon Prime Video Friday is the series Wild Isles.
Welcome to a place that is astonishing.
David Attenborough narrates the series that takes a look at the nature that occupies the British Isles. For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
Those are nice, spectacular.
David Attenborough still going.
He could read the
strong.
phone book.
I agree.
I'd listen to it.
I agree. I'd love to check that out.
Yeah. Well, the final check your forecast coming up.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Wallersheim Winery and Distillery, the home of Wisconsin's favorite wine and the Wallersheim Old Fashioned. Located in Prairie du Sac and available throughout Wisconsin.
Make a move in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance and more advanced tech. When you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
New at 5 after announcing her re-election intentions, Republicans search for a candidate to take on incumbent Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin. What it'll take for another candidate to beat Baldwin in just a few moments.
Lockdown drills have created so much trauma for students that we will likely carry with us for the rest of our lives. I'm always thinking to myself, am I next? Is it me this time?
These drills are traumatizing because we have to do them.
Yeah, tax day looks sunny, but not as chilly with temperatures back up in the 50s. Showers and thunderstorms return Wednesday. We'll have more news and weather coming up next.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there is now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
If your house was cold this winter, it's going to be hot this summer. And now's the time to get your home more energy efficient. It's National Insulation Month, and we're celebrating by giving you savings of $2,000. And just in time before you get those big summer electric bills. Spring's booking quickly, so don't wait to insulate. Call now and save up to $2,000 during National Insulation Month.
USA Insulation. This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or current Chevy owners get $3,750 total cash allowance on all 2023 Silverado pickups with a turbo high-output engine. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
In today's Final Touch, spring has sprung in the Netherlands with rows of colorful tulips.
The Keukenhof of one of the Netherlands' most famous gardens is open again for visitors. Before COVID, some days saw 60,000 people per day allowed in the beautiful garden. That turned out to be too many people, so this year only 40,000 people will be allowed each day, which is better for the park and for the flowers. Dutch tulip farmers are also moving with the times, getting out of the use of chemicals and embracing sustainable energy where possible. Gardeners at the Keukenhof plant and nurture 7 million bulbs.
Wow.
That's something. Visitors from around the world flock to this garden to see the vibrant spectacle during the season from March 23rd to May 14th. They also plant daffodils, crocuses, and hyacinth, so there's always something blooming, but it is the tulips that is the Dutch floral highlight of the year.
You've been there.
I have been there. I was a little girl. I was very young. I went there with my grandmother. I should have brought the picture to show you, but it's a bucket list place for sure.
It really is. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.